video on me making too much bacon. So I have made too much bacon. Um, which you could say, how is that possible? There's no such thing as too much bacon. However, I have. I make bacon for Christmas for myself and for friends and family as to give as a gift. It's a delicious thing to give if people like bacon. But I've made too much because I thought my brother-in-law's parents coming down for Christmas this year, and so I thought, well, I'll make some bacon for them to take back up to the northeast. But they're not coming down this year. My brother-in-law's brother is having to work over Christmas. He works for the NHS, so they can't come down because he normally drives them, and they're getting to the stage where they don't really kind of want to travel that kind of distance in the car by themselves without him coming down with them. So I've got too much bacon, and I don't think I'll be able to get some bacon to them. So I have too much bacon, and then I gave some bacon to some friends, and they don't eat bacon sandwiches. I don't know why these people are my friend. To be honest, I don't know how I could know someone who didn't have a bacon sandwich, other than for religious reasons, or they're vegetarian or vegan. But for all my carnivore friends, or not carnivore, omnivore, because we eat everything, don't we? But anyway, so and I gave them some of them, and they were kind of like, "Oh, we don't eat bacon sandwiches," and I was like, "What can we do with it?" And I was like, "Well, you could slow poach it and treat it like a gammon, and then do as you wish with it. So kind of treat it like a gammon or a cooked ham, cook it, and then have it that way." And they were like, "Oh, well, we'll have a think about that." And I don't know if they will or they won't. But I was thinking, oh well, maybe I should have a go at that rather than just telling people what to do. I should see how it cooks, cooking like a gammon. So this is my plan. I also want to have a go at where we cook a bit of pork belly like this, and then when it's cooked, we press it between two heavy weights, or put it on a tray with a heavy weight on, with a bit of foil or something on top, or baking parchment, and then a heavy weight to kind of flatten it out. So then it's like a block, and then press it until it goes cold, and then slice it, and then fry it. I kind of want to have a go at doing that as well. And then also I did a dish where I cooked a whole chicken in stock, and if I hadn't had stock, I would have used the cooking water from the chickpeas. So we're going to do that. I have cooked some chickpeas, and we're going to cook the bacon in the water from the chickpeas, and it's just enough in there. And then, so we can't cook, because the bacon's salty, we can't cook the chickpeas in with the bacon because of the salt will toughen up the chickpeas. So we can't do that. So that's why we cook the chickpeas and then use the chickpea water to poach the bacon. And then just a couple of onions in there, just around the side. They will make a lovely flavoured stock. They won't look like they fit in at the moment, but they will do as they shrink. So I reckon I've cooked 750 grams worth of 750 grams worth of dried chickpeas. I don't know how much bacon that was. A couple of kilos, maybe a kilo. Don't know. Anyway, so chickpea water, bacon, onions. There's no need to put any salt in that because the bacon will be salty. Enough that bit of meat can go in. And then, is the cooker dirty? Oh no! The cooker's relatively clean for a change. Then, up to the boil, and then a slow simmer until it's nice and tender, and then we'll press it between a tray and a heavy weight. Right. It's had about 3 hours. It's nice and tender. So let's put on a bit of baking parchment. I don't want to use plastic, I don't want to use foil. I think it'll stick to foil. I'm not a huge fan of using plastic. I think we should try and cut down on using all the plastic that we can. So baking parchment is fine, although there is probably a film of plastic on baking parchment. There'll be something. Let's see if we can not roll it, but do it in a way that the paper will keep it in shape while we put a weight on top of it, and then it's going to be a little bit tricky this. But what we can do is we can use the, I think we should be able to use the chickpeas from this. So the chickpeas are still in the pan, and as long as we position it carefully, you might need something a little bit heavier. That's what we'll do. So let's. I know what we can do. We can have a lid on top of a lid, can't we? That'll work. So that can go in there like that, and that'll sit on there like that. We'll put it in the fridge overnight, and it will hopefully press it, and it will keep its shape when it goes as it goes cold. So it'll kind of, as it cools, it'll press into it like a compact shape, which is what we want. And then tomorrow we can whip off the skin, fry it up, and have it for breakfast, I think. Right, it's now the morning. Let's have a look at this and see what's happened. So it's certainly gone solid. It's certainly gone solid and compacted it. So I don't know if it will have kept the pinky colour of bacon. I think so. Dull on the outside, it'll probably be a little bit more pinky on the inside. Now let's cut it on the paper. Not make too much of a mess of my board. And I've got grease on my hands, which is no good for using knives. So just square off the corner like that, and then we'll have a look on it. Oh, it's still a little bit pink. That's a fatty bit, is that? That's no good, is it? What the other side like? The other side would be better. Oh, there we go. So it's kind of kept its pinky colour from the curing process and the bacon. So let's take a couple of slices of that and fry it up in a frying pan and see what happens to it. It should go crispy. What does it taste like first? Should be nice. It's nice cold. Let's see what it's like fried. Oh, so that's the chickpea water, and sufficient gelatin has come out of the bacon to form a bit of a jellified stock with fat on the top. So we certainly can do something with that. But we'll warm the chickpeas up, make some chickpea mash, and fry that bacon, and then we'll have a breakfast and see what it's like. I didn't put any fat in the pan. We're just using the fat that's going to come out of the bacon. Oh, stuck a little bit, but that's a good sign that it starts to caramelize. Ooh, look at that! That looks good. Now I've cut the fat off, the skin off, all of them apart from one, which is that one there. I just want to see what would happen with the skin. Oh, they've come up lovely and caramelised, haven't they? And then we're just frying a little bit of the cooked skin there to see if it will turn into crackling. I don't think it will. I think it's probably a little bit too soft. Maybe if we put it in deep fire, it might work, but there's frying up those bits to get nice and crispy. So I will carry on frying, finish off this mashed chickpea, which is just chickpeas, butter, salt and pepper. You would be horrified at the amount of salt and butter that restaurants use, but it's why food tastes so good. Well, as long as the chef's good. Anyway, so we'll finish off, we'll plate up. I might cook an egg, it'll be delicious cooked in that fat, but that might be later. That's how well they've caramelised up. Just made a little bit of chickpea mash. I think taking the skin off's a wise idea. It's never going to get crispy. I mean, it'd be edible, but not kind of crispy and nice. That and that. That out of the way, so I want something so it doesn't burn anything. I'm going to put it there. And then let's give it a taste. I've got a fork hand. No. Never prepared. nice and tender. Where it just falls apart. So nice and juicy still as well. That's lovely, is that? That's lovely. So, if you ever find yourself, you've made homemade bacon, I will work with a pork belly, like uncured pork belly. But if you ever find yourself with a bit of homemade bacon, and you're wondering what to do with it, you made a bit too much, do that with it. It's delicious. I'd happily eat that anyway. Not everyone's cup of tea, because not a lot of people like fatty pork, but I think that's particularly very delicious and a success. I was going to take it to my sister's. I was going to go to my sister's this weekend. We've got a few things to sort out, and I was going to cook for them, but she decided she wants Chinese instead, so I'll just have to eat it all by myself.